Steph is here. Good morning. Good morning. Happy today. Happy today. I pressed live a little bit earlier. As you're coming on, say hello. A little bit earlier than normal. So, I'll be taking my lemon shot. Lemon and olive oil. It's good for your joints. It's good for your metabolism. I'm not a doctor. Do what you want. I use this for inflammation. I love it. Digestion. So, bottoms up. How are we? Let me know how you're doing in the chat. How yesterday was for you. How the practice period of moving 30 minutes into increments of 10, how that felt. I love the sound of the lemon olive oil shot. It's so good. I love it. Got my little tea. I don't know. I usually do these things before we come on live, but I don't know. I just pressed go live. So here we are. Here we are. I started doing the lemon olive oil shot. I read a book by, oh my gosh, I was just going to get him confused. I was going to say Dr. Amen, but that's not right. What's his name? I've met him a couple times in person. Oh, now I can't remember. Anyway, he's been in the wellness industry for a long time. And I read his book. I was having a lot of inflammation. That's a whole nother maybe episode on YouTube about how I have, with Spirit's assistance, healed my entire body and my blood. I was having a lot of things. A lot of things. Some of you might remember. I was having a lot of health things, and I am totally healed. All right. Totally healed. All right, beauties, who's here? Elaine is here. Allison, Lily, Elisa, bonjour. Bonjour, bonjour. Karen, I think I said hello to all. Karen, okay, and Bettina. Can't read what you're all writing, but welcome. Welcome. Taking a moment, receiving a moment, celebrating a moment, in all the beauty and all the timelessness and all the opportunity for love, for remembering all of the beautiful things. What had Karen said? I can't read what Karen said. Ecco siamo, I think. Buongiorno. All right, beauties. We have, first of all, if you're new, welcome. This is a funny start, but welcome to Elegant Femme. This is Chic 365, Elegant Femme's Guide to A Course in Miracles. If you have never joined us before, please say hello. If you have joined us before and you've been hanging out in the ethers and you haven't yet said hello, please do so. No obligation, ever, 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 with anything, ever, ever, ever. Follow your inner knowing. I have received quite a few comments yesterday about what I had shared previous to the lesson about how I handle criticism and negativity and just comments about what who people think I am or not, or da, da, da. And a lot of you said that you really enjoyed that. It was helpful. Enjoyed it, maybe isn't the right word. That it was helpful for you to reframe when that occurs in your own life and to not stop that. Let that stop you from shining your own light. So I might be talking about that more. What was funny, I got off and I said to Dave, did you see that I talked about that? I think that was good. And he said, yeah, I was wondering if you were ever going to get to the lesson. So again, this is Elegant Femme's Guide to A Course in Miracles, which means I will weave in Elegant Femme conversation. I will weave in conversations about growth and evolution through the Femme types. And it's not just about getting on and like a robot reading the lesson, because that's just not who I am. And you could read the lesson on your own. So this is my intention is to share with you the depth of the integration of the course in a practical life. That it isn't just something that we read every day, that it's something that we each individually, following our inner knowing, allow ourselves to integrate and live into. So I will, from time to time, maybe more than from time to time, share my own experience in not just the course itself, but the way with which I'm called to live this way. So with that, I said it nicer than that. That's my husband, Dave, if you all don't know. Did you say it nicer than that? I don't know, did you? Because you're jokey. You're always jokey. So I don't know. I think you said, I was wondering when you were getting through the course. I don't know. Maybe you said it nicer. Maybe that's how I heard it. Tara, you're one of the very bold ones sharing her light so publicly. I admire you. Thank you so much. It's not, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was just going to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it is my intention and just real deep love that all of us do in whatever way that we're called to, no matter what. Because as painful as it is to have others see you or buy into the illusion of seeing you a certain way or saying things about you, wherever they are on their journey. I said this to Dave yesterday. Said, it's so funny. We all see what we want to see, right? We talk about this from the beginning of the course, the first lesson, right? I do not know what this is for, whatever this thing is, because we all see through our own lens. And we ask, God, help me see this differently. Help me see this differently. Because given our experiences, given what's going on inside of our own personal soul curriculum, given whatever it is we're going through, growing through at that particular point in time, we will see whatever it is we choose to see. So I can make a video, excuse me, I can make a video or write an email or do a post about whatever. And some comments will say, oh my gosh, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Some comments will say, I was crying from the moment I saw this or read this. This shifted me so deeply. I cannot believe I never heard this before. My life has changed. Some will say, I don't like you. Who are you? Where did you come from? Who do you think you are? Whatever. And some will just be super rude on the other end of the spectrum. Same post, same content. I think this is fabulous. To me, if anything else, this is such a reflection of like, we all see what we want to see. And that gives me more courage to be like, well, I'm just going to say what I feel on my heart to say because everyone's going to receive it in whatever way they can, in whatever way they're meant to at that particular point in time. And the more we can, I'll speak for this goes across the board, but for women especially because, well, that's how I can relate inside the context of the conversation. For women, the more we can give ourselves permission to let go of what anyone else is going to say inside of that, because I think this is really hand in hand. And the more we can stop judging each other or thinking in any way that we know better about someone than they know about themselves, or that we presume, assume, or project. And again, we all go through growth because it's not even to judge that. We've all done that as well. But I feel the more we can just consider inside and turn everything inwards. This is why something like gratitude with a twist is so, so potent. Because when I say turn everything inwards, I am talking about everything. I'm not just talking about turning the lesson inward and the trigger inward. I'm also talking about turning the love inward and the compassion inward and the joy inward and the abundance inward. The more we can do that, honor that, consider that, not from perfection, not from like, oh, I'm holier than thou. No, not from that. Just from a deep devotion to, I'm committed to this. I'm committed to walking this way. Even especially when it's hard, when I feel sad, when I feel angry, when I feel challenged, when I feel hurt. especially when, and I'm going to say especially when I'm happy and I'm overjoyed and everything is working in my life and I'm having these gorgeous, huge things that I've always wanted come into my life. Because that's another way that we can dim our light, right? Oh my gosh, all these good things are happening. I'm making millions of dollars. This is happening. That's happening. It's like, ooh, better not say that either. People are definitely not going to like that. Like, no, let it go. Shine your light in all ways and recognize the good in everyone because we're all good. We're all good. We're all good. Okay, Father, Mother, God, my intention is thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's it. Thank you. Just thank you. Thank you for all of it. All of it, all of it. I'm so grateful and so thankful for all of you, for all the conversations that we're having inside of ACIM, for everything that's unfolding. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful. That's where we're at today. We're in the gratitude. We're in the gratitude. All right, beauties, let's move straight in. Straight in 11 minutes later. Oh. All right. Ecco siamo. Ecco siamo. Buongiorno. All right, Phoebe, welcome. I don't think I've seen you here. Welcome, welcome. Karen, Marianne Williamson, always called ACIM a high level of teaching, psychological, personal development, and not a traditional religious teaching, so to speak. So I see your conversation about EF in this. That's beautiful. Context weaving beautifully and organically in the course and is part and parcel of the lessons. And I want to say ditto to whoever said thank you for bravely and courageously sharing so openly. Thank you all. I love our space. I love our space. And just to honor whatever it is that serves you in your life, truly. I see this is very chic looking. You have a tea bag. Honor whatever it is that serves you in your life. Honor whatever it is that you truly desire. There's no one size fits all for anything. So just remember that for yourself. All right. Shall we move into the lesson? Should we do the lesson, Dave? What do we think? You ready for the lesson, babe? Who's coming to Central Creation Day on Friday? Who's coming? Who's coming to Central Creation Day on Friday? 12 o'clock EST, 48-hour replay. Elisa's coming. Who else is coming? Are all of you coming? Every single person here coming on Friday? Or are you registered for the replay? All right. I have some surprise things to share with you on Friday. Be live if you can. If you can. We're going to have some fun. All right, yesterday, lesson 125. In quiet, I received God's word today. That was yesterday. Bettina's coming, Karen's coming, Allison's coming, Katrina's coming. Yay! Or you're registered, at least. You're watching the replay if you can't make it. Today, lesson 126. Oh, this is such a good reminder. Everything we were talking about earlier, too, all across the board. If you have ever been challenged with in the past in your life at all with martyr syndrome, anyone? I don't know. I was raised by some very powerful women, My grandmother, my mother, a lot of very, very powerful women in my life. And one of the things I interpreted, I'm not saying it was their intention, but I interpreted a sacrifice energy at times. The feeling like I'm doing this for you. And I certainly have felt this. Gone into that place inside in my life of, oh, why am I the one that has to do everything? I'm doing everything. And creating for myself this void energy that I was expecting somebody else to fill, where I was giving, waiting for it to be my turn. Can you relate to this? So we really started talking about this conversation in the very beginning of Elegant Femme with my first comprehensive program, which was called Power of Sensuality, which has now transformed over the years and grown into Live You Fully, with really still the core base as sensuality. We're going to be talking about sensuality on Friday. If you've never heard Elegant Femme's definition of sensuality, get ready. Inside of this awareness of watching ourselves give and give and give, thinking that we have to give, we're giving from a place of void. We're giving not from a place of overflow, but from a place of void. So this lesson speaks to this. All that I give is given to myself. So remembering that, the difference here, at least from Elegant Femme's perspective, is that you're giving from a place of overflow, that you're not giving from a place of void, that you're not giving from that place of martyrdom, expectation, should, supposed to, I have to. If you've ever felt yourself waiting for, or upset or in resentment because someone didn't thank you, or you feel like you're doing more for someone than they're doing for you, or you're waiting for it to be your turn, you feel like you're always the one, that's a sign to show you that you're giving from a place of void, not from overflow. So let's see what today has in store. All that I give is given to myself. Today's idea, completely alien to the ego and the thinking of the world, is crucial to the thought reversal that this course will bring about. If you believed this statement, there would be no problem in complete forgiveness. Certainty of goal and sure direction. You would understand the means by which salvation comes to you and would not hesitate to use it now. Let us consider what you do believe in place of this idea. It seems to you that other people are apart from you and able to behave in ways which have no bearing on your thoughts, nor yours on theirs. Do you remember the lesson in the very beginning, or towards the beginning? I have no private thoughts. And beginning to move into the awareness that we are in the mind of God. All of us share that mind. All of us are in that collective consciousness. Actually, let me remove the word collective because that's not completely accurate in that the way that I want to share it right now. We're all in the consciousness of God. We're all in the mind of God. That's why none of our thoughts are private. That's why your thoughts affect someone else and someone else's affect yours. That's why it's so incredibly important to be around or in a community of, surround yourself in whichever way that supports you, a level of reflection of love, of abundance. I got a question the other day, well, what if my family is really based in scarcity? How do I respond? Like, it's really important knowing this, knowing that you're transmitting and receiving, that it's really, really important that you surround yourself with that. And take personal responsibility for what we're putting out. We can smile and we can play the part, but if internally our thoughts and our truth isn't in alignment with what we're saying, people are going to feel that. Have you ever had that experience where you meet someone and they seem so nice and inside you're like, huh, something's just not, I don't know what it is. Just, where you can start to read the music beyond the surface. And then I believe from the course's perspective, we get to go beyond even that into the music that's behind the music that is just the source of light, whatever that person might be experiencing at that time. All right, back to this. It seems to you that other people are apart from you and able to behave in ways which have no bearing on your thoughts, nor yours on theirs. Therefore, your attitudes have no effect on them, and their appeals for help are not in any way related to your own. You further think that they can sin without affecting your perception of yourself, while you can judge their sin and yet remain apart from condemnation and at peace. When you forgive a sin, there is no gain to you directly. You give charity to one unworthy merely to point out that you are better, on a higher plane than he whom you forgive. He has not earned your charitable tolerance, which you bestow on one unworthy of the gift, because his sins have lowered him beneath a true quality with you. Because his sins have lowered him beneath a true equality with you. He has no claim on your forgiveness. It holds out a gift to him, but hardly to yourself. Thus is forgiveness basically unsound. So this is saying this is what the ego believes about forgiveness. Okay, just to really clarify, not the truth about forgiveness, but the ego, how the ego sees it. How the ego sees it as something that you're doing for someone else, that we take a hierarchy, like I forgive you, versus really understanding the nuance, the essence, the gifting and receiving of this frequency, of this truth. So again, from the ego's perspective, thus is forgiveness basically unsound, a charitable whim, benevolent yet undeserved, a gift bestowed at times, at other times withheld. Unmerited, withholding it is just, nor is it fair that you should suffer when it is withheld. The sin that you forgive is not your own. Someone apart from you committed it. And if you then are gracious unto him by giving him what he does not deserve, the gift is no more yours than was his sin. Okay, all ego-based. If this be true, forgiveness has no grounds on which to rest dependably and sure. It is an eccentricity in which sometimes you choose to give indulgently at an undeserved reprieve. Yet it remains your right to let the sinner not escape the justified repayment for his sin. Think you the Lord of heaven would allow the world's salvation to depend on this? Would not his care for you be small indeed if your salvation rested on a whim? You do not understand forgiveness. As you see it, it is but a check upon overt attack without requiring correction in your mind. It cannot give you peace as you perceive it. It is not a means for your release from which you see in someone other than yourself. It has no power to restore your unity with him to your awareness. It is not what God intended it to be for you. So completely shifting the idea, the truth, the intention of forgiveness, and taking this now really deep into the realm of freedom inside of yourself. Not having given him the gift he asks of you, not having given God the gift God asks of you, you cannot recognize God's gifts and thank God and think God has not given them to you. Yet would God ask you for a gift unless it was for you? Would God ask you for something if that something wasn't already for you? Remember, gifting and receiving are one. Could God be satisfied with empty gestures and evaluate such petty gifts as worthy of his son, his child, of you? Salvation is a better gift than this, and true forgiveness, as the means by which it is attained, must heal the mind that gives. Forgiving is receiving. What remains as unreceived has not been given, but what has been given must have been received. Today we try to understand the truth that giver and receiver are the same. You will need help to make this meaningful because it is so alien to the thoughts to which you are accustomed. But the help you need is here. Give God your faith today and ask God that it share your practicing in truth today. And if you only catch a tiny glimpse of the release that lies in the idea we practice for today, this is a day of glory for the world. Give 15 minutes twice today. Okay, so we had 30 minutes the day before last in one. Yesterday, 3 minutes of 10. Today, 15 minutes twice a day. See how that works. See how that honors inside of you. See if you can allow yourself to follow it, not because, let me say it, not with the intention to prioritize what time is really for. This is what the course is sharing and teaching during this particular point on lessons, like up until where we are. It does shift as we get into the future, but up until now, still the training of our minds to prioritize what time is really for. Getting used to the consistency of not only the bookends, but on the hour, like remembering I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That's why I came. Giving and receiving are one. So that the melody in your mind, the harmony of your mind, the music in your mind begins to shift. Just like I said earlier, if you've ever met someone and you see something, but you're feeling something else, the opportunity for us to walk through the world, to be aware and take personal responsibility for the music that's going on inside of us. So we're moving towards that every single day. 15 minutes twice a day to the attempt to understand today's idea. It is the thought by which forgiveness takes its proper place in your priorities. It is the thought that will release your mind from every bar to what forgiveness means and let you realize its worth to you. In silence, close your eyes upon the world that does not understand forgiveness and see sanctuary in the quiet place where thoughts are changed and false beliefs laid by. Repeat today's idea and ask for help in understanding what it really means. Be willing to be taught. Be glad to hear the voice of truth and healing speak to you, and you will understand the words God speaks and recognize God speaks your words to you. As often as you can, remind yourself you have a goal today, an aim which makes a day of special value to yourself and all of your brothers and sisters. Do not let your mind forget this goal for long, but tell yourself, all that I give is given to myself. All that I give is given to myself. All that I give is given to myself. The help I need to learn that this is true, is with me now, and I will trust in God. Then spend a quiet moment opening your mind to God's correction and God's love. And what you hear of God, you will believe, for what God gives will be received by you. All that I give is given to myself. All of it. All of it. You give joy. You give forgiveness. You give peace. You give understanding. You give love. You give humor, right? It's all given to you. All right. How is this feeling? How is this landing? I'm trying to put my paper clip back in. How is this? Good morning. And yes, I'll be there Friday. Please share more on how to heal inflammation. Well, okay, I'm not a doctor, so I have to be, aware of that. I can only share my, is it marking? All right. I will see if I can remember the book that I read on inflammation and let you trust yourself with that. I have healed a lot in my body and in my blood, and I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but I was having a lot of things. I was having trouble breathing. A bunch of things were going on. So it's not just the lemon shot. Not the choice to heal. And remember that I am not a body. I am free. I am as God created me. Yes. But I will look, Julie, and see if I can remember, if I can find the book. But again, follow your own inner knowing. I'm not a doctor, and it goes way beyond any kind of lemon shot and into the mind, right? The belief. The Course would say, we don't need anything. You don't need a lemon shot. You don't need anything. You just choose to be healthy and you heal yourself. And I do believe that that's true. And also that the Course states that it will utilize whatever it is you believe. And I believe it works. So it works. That's how I see that. Yes, and then you find out your instinct was right eventually. Moving into the unconditional by highlighting conditions. Love this. Wonderful. Yay. All right, beauties. Thank you for being here. I love you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Remember that everything you gift is yours. We say gift inside of Elegant Femme because of the very thing I was talking to you about in the beginning, that for me, it used to feel like a giving created a void energy. So I like gifting. I gift my time. I gift my love. It feels like that, a gift. Then the gifting and receiving feels like one. So you use whatever words you want. I will see you tomorrow. Let this be a special day. I look forward to seeing you on Sensual Creation Day on Friday. Be live if you can. We have some beautiful things occurring. If you're new to Elegant Femme, You can go to elegantfemme.com/FDA, which stands for Femme Design Assessment, and take the Femme Type quiz. Find out which Femme type you're predominantly operating in and which 2 Femme types are there to support you in deeper alignment of your feminine power. 2025 is all about the year of the Frenchie. That doesn't mean that we ignore the Indie and the New Yorker. The Frenchie is the key. She really is where we're going to be intensifying things this year inside of Elegant Femme. So I'll be sharing more with you on Friday about that, some changes that I'm making, some things that are upcoming, and really supporting you in creating the first 6 months of your year with you at the center in a really, really gorgeous proprietary system that I love so much. All right, with that, if you like the video, like the video. If you like it. Nico's calling. We're going to go talk to Nico. Love you all. Bye.